Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Sharon Bown, and joining us this evening from the Royal Australian Air Force is leading aircraftman David McRae. We warmly welcome the family of Private William Clifford McMaster, whose story will be told shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that continue to serve, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and by visitors to the memorial. If you are able, would you please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Those requiring a seat, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops at Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private William Clifford McMaster. William McMaster was born on the 25th of October, 1893 in Boomie, a town in northwestern New South Wales, the son of Hugh and Charlotte McMaster. Known to family and friends as Cliff, he attended Boomie Public School and went on to work with his brother Henry, shearing and contracting in Boomie. The brothers enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force together on the 24th of July, 1916. The pair would train together, travel together, and ultimately fight together on the Western Front. The two first entered camp at Narrabri before moving to Armidale towards the end of the month. William was admitted to hospital with mumps in September 1916, but left hospital within a fortnight. He was reprimanded for overstaying his final leave by 4 days and suffered a financial penalty for this infraction. In early September, the McMaster's brothers were allotted to the 5th Reinforcements to the 33rd Battalion. Embarking at Sydney on the 17th of November, they arrived in England and by late January had joined the 9th Training Battalion. After further training, the brothers went to France in early April 1917 and were taken on strength of the 33rd Battalion late in the month. The battalion had been occupying a section of the line around Armentières, a nursery sector where the men were introduced to life on the European battlefield. Although the battalion gained some experience of combat, its first major battle did not come until mid-1917, by which time the focus of British operations had shifted to the Ypres sector in Belgium. This first battle came at Messines, when 33rd Battalion was among those leading the 3rd Division's assault. After a number of mines had been exploded in front of their positions, the assault began. The 33rd went in near Plugstert Wood, after being chosen especially for the position due to its danger. Despite suffering around 200 casualties from Allied gas shells that had dropped short, the battalion went over the top at the appointed time and secured their objective. After the battle, the battalion remained at the front, holding the ground they had gained and enduring almost constant shelling. But even success came at a terrible cost. The battalion's casualties in this battle amounted to 92 killed in action or died of wounds and 260 wounded, the heaviest losses they would suffer during the war. Among the dead was William McMaster, who had fallen in action on the 10th of June. He was 23 years old. While there is no way to confirm the family legend that William's brother Henry was beside him when he was killed, we do know that the task of sharing the news of William's death fell to his brother. Not long after the battle, Henry sent a telegram cable home to Boomie that read, "Please tell Mother, Cliff killed in action." After being wounded in 1918, Henry survived to return to Boomie after the war and re-enlisted for service at the outbreak of the Second World War. Today, William McMaster's remains lie buried in Toronto Avenue Cemetery in Belgium, a site visited by family members. His photo is on display in the Boomie Memorial Hall, and he is commemorated at Moree Anzac Centenary Memorial Park. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private William Clifford McMaster, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you all for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.